Welcome to the show. My guest tonight, Mariya Stokes.
Hello.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to finally be here with you.
Yeah. Can you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and why you're here?
Yeah. My name's Mariya Stokes. I'm a country artist and songwriter based in Calgary, Alberta, but originally from Stavely, Alberta, like an hour south of Calgary. Have you ever been to Stavely or heard of it?
Is there a tall grain elevator
Yes, it's a big
Yeah.
grain elevator and a bar and a general store and a bunch of farmland.
I don't know why. What is it on the way to? I've been there. I've driven through, I think.
It's like halfway between Calgary and Lethbridge, but it's also its own destination.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there?
So there's the hotel, there's the big grain elevator, there's a school, there's no gas station.
Oh, wow.
There's a little convenience store, an antique store, and a lot of really, really great people.
Is your family still there?
Yep, they are. My dad's in Stavely, my mom's in Claresholm, which is like 15 minutes away. So, and my grandparents live down there too.
Cool.
And same with my brother. Yeah.
Nice. Good solid country story.
Yeah.
Small town.
Small town things. Yeah, I grew up a little bit in the country and then a little bit in town too. But yeah, also you asked why I was here.
Yeah.
I just released my debut album, Mood Ring. So we're going to chat about that maybe a little bit.
Are you wearing a mood ring?
Yep.
What color is it?
Right now it's almost black. It's like dark blue.
What does that mean?
It either means deeply calm or aggressively anxious.
Okay. Those are different.
I think deeply calm is what we're gonna go with.
That's the
for
vibe.
now. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Did you get that because of the album, or have you always liked?
I've always
ring?
liked 70s stuff. This is my very first mood ring. But I need to get more, I think. I like costume jewelry. I don't know if you can tell.
You know what? My first question for you was going to be, what color is your mood ring?
Yeah.
But I wasn't expecting you to be wearing a mood ring.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Based on everything else I'm wearing, you wouldn't think that the mood ring would go exactly with it?
I mean, I don't see them that often anymore.
That's fair. Hopefully with this album out, you'll see them a little more.
Yeah. So let's talk about your album. So I've liked a song of yours from 6 years ago.
Okay.
I see it in my liked songs.
Love it.
So been a fan.
Which one is it? Do you remember?
Yeah, Hands on Your Body.
Hands on My Body. That was the first song I ever put out.
So that was 6 years ago.
Yeah.
And now that's on this album.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been working on this album for
Like
that
6
long?
years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first batch of songs we recorded were, so it was Hands on My Body, Christmas, Arizona, Rebound, and Break My Heart were all done in the same day. And I think initially we actually wanted to do an EP, but then as the singles rolled out and as I kept writing and recording, we were like, man, we should make this project an album. And also I have all these new songs that just came out on the album, but those first 4 laid the foundation for everything that we're doing now. And so I wanted to make sure, because it's my first album, my debut album, that we have the foundation there, and so that everybody who listens to it can see where we started and where we're going.
I'm really surprised it's your first album.
Yeah?
You've been doing music for how long?
I've been full-time for 10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
Is that typical to get your first album out after 10 years?
I don't think so. I think though, like when I say full-time, what I mean by that is like I was doing bar gigs and I was busking and I was teaching music. And the first probably I want to say 4 or 5 years of that were just me trying to figure out how to make a living in music. And a lot of that wasn't my original stuff. It was a lot of cover gigs and a lot of, just learning how to be a performer and being in front of people. So I would say it's probably not typical, but I don't know if my story is super typical just because I moved to the city when I was 18 with the only goal of mine being to be able to do this full time. I got a job as a server at a breakfast restaurant, and I wanted specifically to work at a breakfast restaurant so I could take gigs at night, and also because I knew I could probably make pretty decent cash as a bartender, and I did not want to do that because I knew once I quit my job and then flipped to music, it was going to be tight, man. And anyway, so I was able to quit my job like a year and a half after moving to the city, and then every goal after that, I don't know, that was goal number 1, and it just keeps growing from there.
You've been performing for a lot longer than that, though, right? Since you were 8, let's say.
Something like that. Yeah. In Stavely, which we were talking about my hometown, there was a jam that used to happen at the Stavely Hotel. And I used to sit on the stairs right outside the bar and watch all the bands come through town on like Friday, Saturday nights, but then also the jams too. And I just loved it. And so my parents started letting me sneak in and sing with the jam band and stuff. And I was hooked. My dad's a drummer.
Nice.
And then I just never wanted to stop.
So you've been pretty comfortable on stage for a long time.
Oh, I don't know if I'd say now I'm comfortable for sure. I used to, when I was a kid, I'd sing at like anthems at rodeos and bull ridings and songs at like bridal showers and wedding showers and stuff. And I used to get so nervous. I passed out on stage once at a bridal shower, and my mom literally like caught me because I was so nervous. Yeah, it's a muscle. I don't get super nervous now. The only thing that makes me nervous usually are anthems and open mic nights, which is strange. I don't do open mics very often, but when I do it, like, takes me back to the very early days of being a performer and like the adrenaline and stuff. And so, yeah, I'm seasoned now though.
That's surprising because I would feel like at open mics you'd seem like so much more polished than the other people.
Open mics aren't about, to me, like showing up necessarily polished. They're about a safe space to try stuff. And so I don't like to go, and usually I don't go super often anymore, but if I pop in with a friend, I want to try something out and workshop a new song or try an intro for a song that I've never done before. And so that question mark of like, is this going to work, is sometimes nerve-wracking.
Did you have a particular moment you can think of on stage where you were like, wow, this is what I'm doing for my life now?
I don't know if there was a particular moment. There's been moments kind of throughout my my life. I guess, I don't know, I did the Pinoca Stampede talent search when I was 16, and I sang Someday Soon by Ian Tyson, and it was one of the first times I got to play with like a big band in front of a bunch of people. And there's still a video online of it somewhere. And you can hear my voice shaking, like I sound like Dolly Parton, but not in a good way. Because when I get nervous, I get like this almost like goatee vibrato, like, you know, like the meh. And anyway, so I look back on that video and I'm like, I was nervous, like I was shaking in my boots, but it felt really, really super, super cool to perform in front of that many people with a big band. And even if my vocal performance wasn't the best, I was like, if I work this muscle a little bit more, I think I could feel confident enough on stage to deliver a good vocal. Anyway, that was
Did
one
you
of
win?
them. Yeah, I did, but
Nice.
I lost way more competitions than I won when I was a kid. That one stands out because I won it, but most of them I did not. Yeah.
How has your sound evolved since then?
Well, it was super trad country when I started. It was like a lot of Ian Tyson. I love the Chicks. Shania Twain's Up albums is one of my favorite albums of all time. And I think it's probably, and that's funny actually, I said I started trad country. Up is one of the most progressive country albums also of all time, sonically and actually lyrically too. I think the way that it's evolved is that it's more outside of country, I guess, instead of just sticking to, electric guitar and steel guitar and fiddle and all of those things, and also kind of living in the melody space that is country music. I lean a little bit more pop maybe with my melodies, and the production gets really interesting too. Have you had a chance to listen to the record yet?
Yeah, I have a lot of notes about how it's in a lot of genres.
Yeah. So there's steel guitar on a ton of the tunes, but you would never know that it's steel guitar. So in Chantel, there's this, it's kind of like this whiny, bright sound right off the top. And it's actually a steel guitar player, but you can't, it doesn't even sound like steel. So I think that taking some of those risks and like reinterpreting, trusting the musicians that were playing on the record to like make some weird choices. I think that's also been part of the sound evolution.
It's really interesting that you did that. Was there any song on the album that you were kind of scared to release because it was so different from what you normally do? Or not scared, but you know what I mean.
Oh no, scared's a pretty accurate
Okay.
word. Yeah, fuck pretty. I was pretty nervous about that one. Just because I drop that word a lot of times, and also because it's such a strong statement, and again, sonically so different than everything I'd done before. But it's one of the songs that I'm most proud of and most passionate about, and we pushed through that fear, and she's in the world. So
Nice.
yeah,
I actually, let's just talk about the album for a long
sure.
time.
All right, great.
Do you have a song that you think will be the most underrated song on the album?
You know what? It's such early days that it's super, super hard to say. I think the song that we closed the album with is Patron Saint. And it's really goofy and really jazzy and almost a little bit delusional. And because it's the last song on the album, depending on how far people listen into it, because I know sometimes I'm halfway through an album and then I click out because I'm doing something else and forget to listen to the rest. But yeah, Patron Saint is a pretty goofy little song, and I hope people can get to the end of the album to hear it.
Do you want people to listen in order, or is shuffle fine?
Shuffle's fine. Like for me, I like to listen in order because I like to see the vision, and like a lot of thought went into organizing the track listing. But I'm happy for people to experience it on their own terms, whatever that looks like to them. So everybody listens differently. Sometimes I'll look at a record and I'll be like, oh, this title looks interesting, and I'll click through it, and that'll help me decide if I want to sit down and listen to the whole project. So yeah, ideally listen to it in order, but also do you. That's the whole point of Mood Ring. So
The concept of Mood Ring is every song is kind of a different emotion. Is that right?
yeah, a song for every mood, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's cool. So do you take them on a journey with the moods, or?
Yeah, we do actually a little bit. It's interesting. I didn't even realize this until we'd finalized the track listing. And it was funny because my producer and I worked together on it, and he had sent me the order that he thought it should be in, and I sat with it and rearranged it and messed around with it, and and then was like, I don't know, it's just not working. And then I went back to his original order and was like, oh no, that's totally the way that it's supposed to be. But the front half of the record it's quite confident, is what I would say. There's like a lot of self-empowerment. There's a lot of, I almost want to say like fronting. And the back half of the record is where it starts to really get vulnerable. And so if you want like an empowering experience, listen to the first couple songs. And then if you want to cry yourself to sleep, listen to the back half. And there's still some empowerment and some sadness on both sides of the record. But yeah, that's definitely the journey of the track list.
Did you come up with the concept first or the songs? I know some were older songs, but did you come up with the concept first or the songs first?
The songs first, not all of them. We actually recorded, I think, 3 or 4 more, or 5 even, to finish it off in the end. I knew that sonically it was going to be a little bit all over the place. There's a through line with my vocal and the writing. We have the same bass player on every single song, Justin Cutting. And then Spencer Cheen mixed the entire thing, and it was all mastered at the same time. But I was like, I don't even know how to describe this project because it's kind of chaotic. And my manager and I were talking about it, and I was like, what if we call it like All My Favorite Records Don't Make Sense? Because I love Hosier's first record and how
so good
dynamic it is, and how you have like these huge church moments with string arrangements and choirs, and then you get Cherry Wine that's like live, and you can hear his guitar creaking on it. Anyway, so I was like, maybe all my favorite records don't make sense. And my manager, Natasha, was like, so we thought about it and we kind of stewed on it. And one day, Mood Ring just popped out of her mouth, and I was like, that's it. It's always been Mood Ring. But I don't think I would have come up with that on my own.
It's awesome.
Thank you.
How big is your team for this?
Like, are you talking musically or other stuff?
I don't really know.
Okay.
You're the expert.
It's the team musically is huge. So we have 2 different production teams on it. Justin Cutting and Spencer Cheen. They were the first team that I recorded with. They're fantastic. They're based in Calgary. And then Lucas Gino is a producer based out of Pennsylvania and also one of my co-writers. And so they're kind of like the visionaries behind the project on all the arrangements and stuff. But then we had musicians and we worked all over Western Canada. Some of it was recorded at OCL Studios in Chestermere, the Lookout in Invermere, the Warehouse in Vancouver. We did 3 songs at Saxman Studios in Nashville, and like all kinds of musicians on it. It was different every single time. Really, really different.
Do the different areas change the sound at all? People from different, like someone from Nashville or where else you said?
Yeah, BC or Alberta.
Yeah.
Does it change the sound? I don't know if it necessarily, I don't know. Yeah, the area might.
Or has your sound changed working with different people in different areas?
Yeah, I would say that it is a geographic thing for sure, but it's also an individual thing as well, depending on which players. You can have 3 different guitar players listen to the same song, and they're going to play something completely different. In Nashville, they work a lot, like pretty fast. You know what I mean? I think we did 3 songs in like the bed tracks anyway. So like the bass, drums, guitar, keys, and like a couple utility instruments like mandolin. We did those 3 songs in like 3 hours. Like it was fast. We did all the pre-production, so all the stuff where we're like, what kind of drums do we think we want on this? And like, are we going to change the chords here ahead of time so that when we got in, the band could just like read the chart, hear the demo that we made, and then and play it, and also add their own flavor and their own spices and stuff to everything. But Nashville is really fast. In the other studios we worked in, we had a little bit more time to dig into everything.
So what is on the longer end of how long it takes to make one song?
Depends on how much you procrastinate. And do you mean like in the studio?
Yeah, and afterwards, just from when you first start to when it's actually ready, I guess.
You can make it as long as you want. You can sit on it and remix it and recomp stuff and recut vocals for years if you want to. You can also whip a song around in like a week if you want to, depending. For me, like that's the shortest I think I could take. When we did one of them, the first song on the record, that was recorded at the Warehouse Studios when I was in SiriusXM's Top of the Country with the Canadian Country Music Association. So we went in and I think it took us 2 hours to record the actual track. And we'd done a little pre-pro ahead of that. So we knew what we were doing. We had limited time. And then we did the vocals in like 45 minutes. When we got home, I recorded all the background vocals. I think I think it was either my studio at my house or my producer's studio. And we had it mixed and mastered within like 3 days. Like it was fast because our deadlines were really hard. But I don't know. I like taking my time. It was also quite an exercise having to pull everything together that fast. And I wouldn't have been able to do it without a fantastic team, obviously. But you could take forever or you could take no time at all.
Do you find when you have more time, you change it too too much maybe?
I don't know if I change it too much. I think I overthink it.
That's what I mean, I guess.
Yeah. I think I'll stew on it and I'll pick out little things that actually probably aren't going to like sink it or make it any better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll get in my way. So having heavy deadlines definitely makes me move faster.
Did you have a lyric on the album that you almost didn't include?
A lyric on the album that I didn't include? No, I think it's interesting. Anything that was going to be like there was so much editing on the songs ahead of time that like by the time we hit the studio, it was what we wanted to say. There was some stuff that changed like in studio. Hands on My Body, because we have that like super repetitive chorus. The hands on my body.
It's been stuck in my head all day.
I'm sorry, and also thank you. But like it's funny because when we were doing the turnaround, there's like a breakdown in that song where we go hands on my body.
Yeah.
Anyway, like we took that chorus, my producer took it and just like slowed it down so that we could have a little bit of an ear break. But no, lyrically, I think everything that was supposed to be there was there. Although we almost didn't record Hands on My Body.
Which is weird because that was the first one. Is that the first one?
That's my very first single ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually down south in Nashville on a writing trip with my production team. And I was showing my producer a bunch of songs. And I don't know, we listened through like 15 or 20 songs. And I was like, is there like a single in here? And he's like, I think you have some good songs, but I don't think you have a song that's going to introduce who you are. And my other co-writer was there and he's like, well, show him Hands on My Body. And I was like, I'm not going to record that song. It's too spicy. It's too edgy. And anyway, Spencer heard it and we got, I think, to the end of the first chorus and he was like, yeah, that's your first single. And I was like, no, it's not. And he's like, buddy, like, that's you. Like, that's who you are. And I think you're uncomfortable with it because it does resonate so hard with you. And that song to me it's about autonomy and self-empowerment. And anyway, he was right. It was hitting a little too close to home. And yeah, we ended up recording it and it was my first single. But yeah, it was almost, if my other co-writer hadn't been there and if my producer hadn't pushed, I would never have even shown them that song.
Really catchy.
Thank you.
And it's somehow just been in my rotation for years. So it's like, I didn't just hear it when you sent me your album.
Isn't that such a nice surprise, though?
Yeah.
That's such a nice surprise for me anyway, that you've been listening to it and you didn't even know it. It's pretty cool.
I knew it, but I didn't expect to have you here.
Well, here I am.
I wanted to talk more about your genre, moving around genres. Mm-hmm. When did you kind of realize you were going to do that instead of being just country?
I don't know if there was ever like a specific choice, if that makes sense. For me, it was like as soon as I got in the studio, it was that the songs needed to be served for what they wanted to be. Like Hands on My Body could be produced as a super country song, for example, but it really likes a little bit of like spicy R&B flavor. Like it really likes the kind of the heavy bass lines and some of the, the synthy sounds. And it wasn't, I don't know if it was necessarily a choice. I just listen all over the map and I think those influences kind of came through.
Do you think you're changing genres or you're making other genres a little more country?
I think country has opened up so much in the last few years. Like you see, like Post Malone is going country and Beyonce is going country. And then you listen to Casey Musgraves and she's doing like sort of a singer-songwriter pop thing, but she's still country or Maren Morris. And so I think the genre is already kind of doing the work on that. It's already opening up and I'm just lucky to be part of it.
Do you get compared to anyone?
Oh,
do you hate that question?
No, I don't hate it. It was funny when I was younger, when I was first starting out, my voice, and I don't hear it, but my voice often got compared to Jewel.
Nice. I love Jewel.
Yeah, which is kind of funny. And I hadn't listened to a lot of her because she was popular. She wasn't super, super popular when I was growing up, but I dug into her catalog and I was like, that's really nice. That's one that I get compared to. And then I think visually sometimes I get like the Lainey Wilson comparison, but I don't think our music sounds similar or our voices. I think we both just like bell-bottom jeans. And I'm
Someone
cool with that.
told me today that you sound like Miley Cyrus.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I'll take that any day of the week. Have you seen her TikTok videos?
Not recently.
There's so many incredible live performances of Miley on TikTok. Like I'll K-hole in them and just scroll forever. But yeah, man, that's a high compliment. Thank you.
What song did you send me the video of?
Oh, one of them.
Okay, I'm going to show that right now.
Okay, let's watch it.
Said, girl, let's celebrate what we had. Pop champagne and we cheers to that. Summer of us was coming to an end, and he packed up a piece of my heart when he left. So I pray every soul on earth gets a taste of a love as sweet as his. Kissing in his car like kids, so we had to fall right in. Didn't know it could feel like this. He wasn't the one, but he was one of them.
And we're back.
Yeah,
Really
we
good
are.
video. Thanks for sending that over.
Hey, thanks for showing the folks.
So you have a tour coming up.
Yeah.
How is it going to be different? You've toured before.
Mm-hmm.
How is it going to be different this time?
I'm going to have 14 songs out instead of 5 or 6 or 7. And so we'll actually, be able to do like a full 75 or 90-minute show of my material. And also, people will be able to look it up and hear it ahead of time, which is super exciting.
Is it a wider tour, more places? Is it similar to what you've done in the past?
Yeah, it's a little bit wider. It's a lot of like Western Canada. So we're kicking it off with an album release show at National Music Center in Calgary. And then we're kind of going all over. We're heading the farthest north we've gone in a van, high level,
Nice.
Alberta, which is going to be super cool. Grand Prairie. We're playing Folk on the Rocks up in the Northwest Territories in Yellowknife. And I'm really excited for that one because my best buddy lives up there. And I'm going to take a couple extra days. Sorry, I didn't mean to punch your desk. But I'm going to take a couple extra days and run around and get to like actually enjoy and see the North Country in Canada.
Nice.
Yep. And then we're going to like Pincher Creek and we'll be all over the place. A little bit in BC too.
How long is it?
So it's kind of like it's a couple months. It's like two months so far. But it's not consistent. So we're not going out for like 2 months at a time. We're doing like 3 or 4 shows and then back in Calgary and then 2 or 3 shows and then back in Calgary.
What do you have going on for Stampede?
I am playing 4 days at Nashville North, which I'm super excited for. We do the back 4, so Thursday to Sunday, the last 4 days of Stampede, and it's always one of my favorites.
Yeah. You've played there before?
Yeah, we've done a couple years. Our first year was 2021, and it was wild. I was going through some of the video footage from that show because it was our first one back after everything had started to kind of open up again. And after I got off stage on the Saturday night, I like just lost it. Like I just started to cry because I was so overwhelmed because it'd been so long, since I'd been, that close to an audience, but also the energy that was coming off that crowd was wild. And it was one of those moments where I was like, I am so grateful that I get to do this and I never want to stop.
Is there anything that you were told not to do in music that you did anyway and worked for you or you're proud of?
There's a lot of things I think I've been told not to do. I think like making a full-length album is probably one of those things because it's a singles world. We're like a snippets. Our attention spans are so short that people sometimes don't want to listen to full albums. And I don't know if it's going to work or not yet, but either way, I'm really proud of it. And I don't know, the folks that have been kind of part of this thing since day one, they're telling me they dig it and they're excited. So that's pretty cool.
It's really good.
Thank you.
It's really well done. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Are you worried that there's just going to be some songs left behind that you put so much time and effort into when it's a full album?
No, because I think they'll all end up landing where they're supposed to land and they'll find the people that they're supposed to find. Maybe that's a little bit hippy dippy. But yeah, I think each song's going to have its own moment. I can't control how big or small those moments are, but they're going to land where they're supposed to, I think.
When you did covers, what people did you cover from other genres?
Let me think. I did a Her song with Daniel Caesar. Let me think. Like Megan Trainor, loved a lot of her stuff. Of course, you do like the Oasis thing. Basically, whatever's popular at the time from other genres. It's like a lot of like, what are people going to listen to and get excited about? Because it's a much bar things. You know what I mean? When you're like playing in a bar and you're trying to get people hyped. Yeah.
What about if you ever do karaoke? What would be your go-to song?
I have 2.
Okay.
If I am just having a nice old time and I want to sing kind of good, which is not the point of karaoke. Like you're supposed to just belt it out and suck for fun. I'll sing Patsy Cline's Crazy. I love that song. However, if I've had, a drink or two, I like to scream sing Love on Top by Beyonce.
Nice.
Because it's aggressively outside of my vocal range and I cannot hit those notes. And it's just really fun sometimes to sing and not worry about like trying to sound a certain way. Sometimes it's just fun to like let the sound out of your body.
Do people ask you that question a lot?
No, I don't think I've ever been asked that question.
Oh, really?
Not like at a podcast or anything
Okay.
like this. Yeah.
How's this media circuit been going for you? I heard you on the radio today.
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
Uh-huh.
Do you have more coming this week?
Yeah, definitely. We're doing a few more. It's been really good. It's so fun to connect with people and talk about the album and, catch up with old friends that are in media that I haven't seen in a hot minute. It's been interesting for sure.
Are you tired? Are you tired of saying the same things?
No, I don't think I think I should maybe work a little harder to say the same things. My brain is a little bit like, it likes to go different places. And so no, I think it changes a little bit every time for sure.
I want to piggyback off of all of those professionals. Has there been anything that I haven't asked you that you've been getting asked a lot?
Anything?
That I missed?
That I've been getting asked a lot. Trying to think. Oh, people are asking about like the merch around the album, which is super fun. Did I tell you what we're doing with the vinyls?
No.
Okay, so we're doing CDs and vinyls, but the coolest thing about the vinyls is that instead of a traditional track listing, we have little white dots next to each song.
Cool.
And then with the vinyl, you get like a little sticker sheet with a bunch of different colored circle stickers, and you get to choose your mood and customize your vinyl.
That's
and
so
I think
cool.
that's really fun because it's a song for every mood, but I can't define what those moods are going to be for people. So
I've never seen anything like that done before.
that's cool. I don't think I've never heard of anything like that either. But yeah, it was just like, it just made a lot of sense with the mood rings.
Yeah. What other merch do you have?
The mood rings. And then we just got some t-shirts done and also some crew necks that I'm really excited about. One of my favorite merch items, however, is the Fire with Mariya lighter. It's like a little Bic lighter that just says Fire with Mariya. And it's funny. In 2021, I was living with my best friend, the one I was talking about who lives in Yellowknife. And obviously, so she worked in the service industry. And I'm a musician, so we're not really working much. And we were like, what can we do to like occupy some time and like have a little bit of fun? And then we started hearing about all the parents that were working from home, who were like working from home and also their kids are home from school. And it's just like a lot to manage all that. So we were like, let's put together a kids show and we're going to run it. I think it was every Friday or every Monday, and we're going to theme it out. So my best buddy, she's not like a professional musician, but man, does she have a costume collection. And so we did like every Friday for half an hour or 20 minutes, we would prep all these kids' songs and then put these costumes on that were related to the theme. And we called it Fire with Mariya and Elena. And then we thought after that, that whole series, we had so much fun with it. I think the videos are like still on Facebook. After that, we were like, maybe we should do some merch and I should like lean into this Fire with Mariya thing. And the thing that made the most sense to do for Fire with Mariya and a kids show was lighters. So we also have lighters that are only available at live shows because I can't ship them.
Oh,
Yep. Maybe I can. I haven't figured out how yet. So
that's a good story.
thank you. It was weird. You'll find pictures of me dressed like a princess or in like full wolf makeup.
If I can't find it, please send that to me.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, can I have it floating right here?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's still on
Send
my
it.
Instagram too. I think I'll find it and I'll send you some photos.
Do you have advice for people new to the industry?
Man, if you're new to the industry, there's going to be a lot of advice. So I think my biggest advice is figure out who you are and what you want to say and just be really confident in that.
Do people come to you for advice a lot?
Sometimes, like when we were at the Country Music Alberta Awards this year, I was on a panel, a roundtable panel with Liam Prost, who is a big part of Breakout West. And we were talking about how to prepare for a showcase, which was super fun. And I think, I don't know, when I'm on a panel like that, people do come for a little bit more advice. But I don't know. It's funny. When we were at the Country Music Alberta Awards, there was this young singer-songwriter who came up to me. She's doing her first full band show. And she was part of the panel and had heard us speak about that. And she started asking me, like, how do you prepare for the full band show? Like, how do I make sure that my band has everything they need? And so I started talking like I am right now. And I rattled off like 7 things. And I could see her get overwhelmed. And I was like, whoa, wait, hold on. No, don't X out everything I said. And I called my my guitar player, musical director, who's he's sometimes a little bit more articulate when he speaks. So I called him and I was like, you need to get over here right now and like break down everything I just said for this girl and give her some like actionable advice. Anyway, so he came over, I rattled it at him and he was like, here are the 2 things you need to do. And so yeah, sometimes people ask me for advice, but I still need help communicating the advice sometimes.
Were you nervous in a different way doing a panel compared to singing on stage?
I don't know if I'm nervous. I don't pretend to be an expert in anything, so all I can speak to is my experience. And I have no problem saying that if there's a question that comes up that I don't have the answer to, I have no problem saying I don't know that, but this person might have the answer. It's a little bit of pressure, but as long as I just remember that I don't know everything and I'm not expected to know everything, it's fine.
I don't like speaking in front of crowd. I don't like doing anything.
Well, you picked the right industry to get into.
I don't. This is different. We're talking.
Yeah.
But then as soon as I have to do an ad, which I'm about to cut to in 20 seconds.
Love it.
When I talk to the camera, don't like. Everything changes. I'm like, hey, everybody, please subscribe. I don't know what it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's a muscle. It's just something to practice, I guess.
Yeah. And these sunglasses help. When I take these off,
right?
I'm nervous all of a sudden.
It's like a little energy barrier. Oops,
it is.
In front of your face. Sorry, I keep punching your equipment.
It's okay. On that note, I'm going to cut to a quick break.
Excellent.
20 seconds. That was probably... Okay, we'll be back. Hey, everyone. If you're new to the show, please subscribe on YouTube. That's a really important one. I want to grow on YouTube. Lots of listeners on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. Keep subscribing there. Share it with someone. If you think it's a cool concept, share it with your friends. We want to keep it going. So, yeah, thanks so much. Stay tuned for more Deets. A lot of people start and quit podcasts.
I think a lot of people start and quit a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like one of those things, though, where you have to like the shit a little bit. Because it's like, it's great to do a podcast, but like editing for 20 hours.
Horrible. It does take about 20 hours usually.
Yeah, that would not even surprise me.
I've streamlined it a little bit. So it could be like 6 if I kind of skip some things.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's like the same with music, though. People want to perform, but like the amount of time it takes to practice so that your fingers don't hurt on guitar anymore, or the amount of gear that you have to load in. Sometimes in heels, you have to like want to do that part too.
Yeah. Let's come back from break. That was good though.
You can use some of that if you want.
I'm gonna use it
sure.
for a reel.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. I might just use it. I could say, and we were back a little while ago.
We just kept chatting.
Yeah. And we're back.
We're back.
We're back. Let's play a little game.
Okay.
The game is called Mood Ring or Mood Swing.
Excellent.
Okay. So mood ring is good vibes, mood swing, bad mood, don't like it.
Perfect.
Okay. And I have a lot of these, so I might cut some.
Excellent.
I always say that. Extra work editing, I'll probably leave them all in.
Perfect.
Okay. Someone claps between verses at your show.
Mood ring.
Okay. Okay.
Depending on the song, though. We have a moment in my show. Sorry, I'm ruining the game, but
No.
there's a couple moments where there's like intentional silence and we kind of fake an ending and then we're like, just kidding.
Okay.
And so that's really fun.
I like it. Thank you. A stranger calls you ma'am.
Am I in the South?
No, you're here.
Mood ring. That's like pretty nice. I don't know. Like
These might all be mood ring. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, we don't really know each other super well yet. We're about to.
Okay. Someone telling you don't look like a country artist. But I mean,
mood ring.
Kinda
Also,
do.
I'm like, yeah, well then what do I look like? I'm cool to not look like a country artist. What does a country artist look like?
kind of like you, honestly.
Okay, all right.
Okay. How about this one? You're playing a show, Stampede. Everyone's drunk. People are yelling out, play Wagon Wheel.
Oh, mood swing. You want to hear a goofy thing about Wagon Wheel
Yeah.
at Nashville North? I don't even know if I should tell this story because they might not invite me back. Wagon Wheel was one of those covers that I played 4,000 times when I was starting out. And I feel like most musicians do, country or not. Like that's something you learn. And there was a moment like a couple years ago where we were doing it on stage at the Calgary Stampede at Nashville North. And like my brain was so tired of singing that song that it said, nope. So I started the first verse of the song and I sang the second verse. And then I did the chorus. And then I went into the second verse of the song. And again, I did the second verse. But then I couldn't remember the back half of the second verse. So I just did the top of the second verse twice. And then next chorus, into the breakdown, second verse again. Sang the second verse like almost 4 times. And so mood swing, I do not play that song anymore.
Yeah.
But it did pay my rent for a little bit. So
That's good. That's our first mood swing.
excellent.
How about, have you ever finished it and then they chant to do it again?
Play that same song again, just like that. No, not usually. Then it's like Wonderwall or something like that.
Yeah. Someone sings the wrong words to your song really confidently.
Mood ring. Get it.
Get it. Getting booked at a festival and it turned out to be a chili cook-off.
Oh man, mood ring. I love chili. I mean, and I could add music, even if it is a chili cook-off.
Yeah.
I'll play. Like, I don't care. As long
That
as you give
seems
me
fun.
some chili, that could be a good
You
time.
ever played Tabor Fest?
No, I've never played Tabor Fest, but maybe we'll have to add it to the list.
I've been. They have a corn eating contest.
I would lose. Well, maybe I'm.
They did it. They're pros. Seriously. It's intense how fast they eat the corn.
How? Can you give us an example and show us how they
I
eat
don't
it
have
so
corn,
fast?
but it's kind of like a fluid motion of scraping all the corn off with your teeth.
Oh, so
in
you
one.
so it's not like it's like a.
Oh, I mean, they've done it a lot, I think. It's really good.
Do you think they train for that?
Yeah. In the off season.
They practice.
Yeah.
Got to go to
Corn supply.
Tabor and see if they have a corn eating training gym.
You should look into it. Let's say rain hits mid-show, your outdoor show.
I would say mood ring simply because one of the greatest moments that I've ever had at a live show was when I was a kid, again at the Ponoka Stampede. I was like, I don't know, 10, and Carolyn Dawn Johnson and Keith Urban were playing, and Carolyn was opening for Keith Urban. And at that point, Keith, he was doing a cover of Free Fallin' by Tom Petty, and the rain was falling down. And I felt like I was in a movie. It was.
I was hoping you said mood ring.
Yeah, definitely mood ring.
I've seen those moments. Actually, I was at a festival once. I think it was Virgin Fest. It was called Metric, and it was pouring rain, but it was all mud. It was crazy, but
Yeah,
she kept going.
yeah. It's part of the vibe. Also, the lights look better too, like the stage lighting when it hits the rain, and then you get long hair and you see it flowing in the. Anyway,
Also, I love Keith Urban.
me too.
Okay, someone doing a boot chug while you're performing.
It depends on the context. I think like with Mood Ring, my record, there's not a lot of boot chug beer drinking songs on it. So I would say like in the appropriate moment, Mood Ring. If you're being obnoxious and disrupting other people's listening experiences, Mood Swing.
Yeah, I don't like
Context
them.
is key on those.
I've never done it, but
Well,
should I?
I don't know if I've ever done a boot chug either. I've never been invited to do one, which is surprising because I'm from Staveley, Alberta, and if I was going to do it,
I'm thinking this is the year, Nashville North.
boot chug.
Okay.
Do you want to come on stage and do a boot chug with us? Because I could probably make that happen.
You know
another
what?
year.
I'll ask for some time.
Excellent.
I'll get over there
Perfect.
because I would really like to do that actually.
Awesome.
Okay.
We'll see if we can make it happen.
Getting added to Yeehaw Baddies playlist.
That would be a mood ring for me. Yeehaw Baddies, let's go.
Okay. I'm going to make a playlist.
Called Yeehaw Baddies?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Who would you put in there with you?
There's a lot of people I would put in there. Raina Roberts is probably one of them. And then Lainey Wilson, Sasha, Robin Ottolini. There's a lot.
Okay. I'm going to make a Yeehaw Baddies playlist. I'm going to post it to my Instagram.
Excellent.
I might need your help.
Okay. Yeah, give me a call.
Forgetting your own lyrics while you're singing, but the crowd finishes the song for you.
Oh, mood ring. Super cool.
Yeah.
Seen a couple moments like that. Although the problem is before this album was out, if I forgot my own lyrics and the song wasn't out, fine. I can just make them up on the spot. And if you ask my band, that has happened maybe one too many times. But now I can't do that anymore because hopefully people will actually know the lyrics. So that's best case scenario.
It's good. Being recognized at Safeway, but you're in sweats.
I mean, I'm always in sweats at Safeway. Like it's this outfit or it's sweats. So I'm going to say mood ring. I don't know. Getting recognized would be that's nice. I don't think it'll ever happen, but
Okay.
just like, sorry, Jen Arden did this podcast a while ago or she said something at a show about how she likes that she's just famous enough that she can like play shows, but like also not famous enough that she can go to Costco and buy tampons. And I was like, yeah, like that's a sweet spot, man.
I made a post today. Who should I have on my podcast in the future? 2 people said Jan Arden. I don't think
Excellent.
I'll be able to get a hold of her. But
If you do get a hold of her, ask her about the tampon story that she told because it's pretty funny.
Okay.
Her delivery is much better than mine.
People opening with, I usually don't like country, but, and then they probably say they like you.
Mood ring, because I think most people, even people who say they don't like country, maybe you're talking about a specific kind of country. It's such a broad spectrum.
Yeah. I wonder what they're talking about. Like really twangy stuff.
Maybe like twangy stuff, maybe like bro-y country, where it's like a lot of like beer truck girl stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they mean, but there's a lot more to country music than just that. And even that has a place sometimes.
Chew tobacco spit.
Okay, like I don't want to like that song,
Oh,
but will I say chew tobacco, chew tobacco spit? Yeah,
Every time.
I will, every time.
people yelling encore after you leave the stage.
Mood ring, hard mood ring.
Okay. That's a lot of mood rings. You must be in a good mood. What color is it now? Did it change?
It's like a darker blue now.
More anxiety?
I think deeply relaxed. I think that's what I'm choosing.
If
in
I
this
put that
moment.
on, will it tell me?
Yeah. Wait, hold on.
You have an extra.
No, give me a second.
Okay. I'm waiting. Oh,
It's fine.
that's okay. I do that all the time.
I brought you a mood ring.
Oh, yes.
There you go.
Thank you
But I
so
brought
much.
you a different kind of mood ring.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll fit also.
I like that you think I had such big hands.
I don't know. Like my ring, I think is like a size 7 or 8. Did I get it right?
Fits that finger. Might be stuck. That's the perfect fit.
It's
It turns
never coming
color
off now.
really quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You brought me a whole package here.
Yeah. There's the CD.
Let's show that.
Oh yeah.
How about that?
The Mariya Stokes mood ring CD. It's so exciting.
Love it.
Yeah, and then there's a little postcard to Christmas Arizona, my song that's, not a holiday song, but has Christmas in the title. It's a town called Christmas. We made little postcards for Christmas Arizona.
I love it.
They're super goofy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm going to put this somewhere in the studio.
That would be awesome.
And people will be like, whoa, Mariah was here?
They'll be like, she went to Christmas Arizona? That's a ghost town.
Wow, that's dark.
Isn't it interesting?
That's,
Same color, I think. See, now mine's lighter again, though. It also depends on the light. Yeah, it's like a nice blue right now.
yeah, very deep. Maybe like a deep violet. Mine's probably anxiety. It usually is. I don't really need the ring to tell me that. but
Right,
I'm
fair
going to wear
enough.
this.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
all the time. Do you want this clip?
No, you can keep it.
Thanks. What do you have? So you have the tour.
Yep.
What else? What else do you have coming up? And what's in the pipeline after that?
Yeah. We're super, super focused on being on the road right now.
Mhm.
That's really exciting. I'm going actually to Toronto in June to do a little media trip, which I'm excited about. We're working on a show out there. And then what's next is writing the next album. I want to make like 45 albums.
45, wow.
Or something like that. I don't know. I think Tammy Wynette released like 50 albums or something. Like it was like 1 or 2 a year. And I don't know, especially as an independent artist, that's probably not doable at this point. But yeah, I want to make another album. So I'm going to enjoy this one for a little while. And we're already kind of starting to write for the next project. I'm never not really writing. But yeah, I want to do a concept record next.
Nice.
So probably a new single, later this year or early next year. Also, actually, we're doing a Pride remix
Okay.
of Fuck Pretty that's going to come out next month too, that I haven't actually told anybody about. So
You're breaking the news here.
I'm breaking the news on Deets with Duddy. Yeah.
That's really exciting. Thanks for breaking news here.
Heck yeah. Thanks for
I love
giving
that.
me a space to break news. You look like a news anchor with your desk.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but like cooler than a news anchor. Maybe like a news anchor from the 70s with the glasses and
Yeah.
stuff.
I like that.
Yeah.
A retro vibe
Mm-hmm.
with the new suit.
Yeah. This new suit looks great.
Anything else you want to talk about?
There's always stuff I want to talk about, but
I have time.
I think, like the biggest thing is that the new record's out. We're doing the vinyls, which is really fun, and CDs, and folks can order those wherever they're listening from. If you want a hard copy of Mood Ring, they're on my website.
Website. Tell us the website, Instagram, anything you want to
Yeah.
plug.
My name is spelled funny. It's Mariya, but it's Mariya. And
I'll put that in the video.
Mariya Stokes. And I'm on all of the social media platforms, mostly active on like Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And then I'm on all the streaming platforms that you listen to. And like, if you're in Western Canada, I might be coming to your town sometime this summer too. So we should meet up in person and hang and stuff
I
at a
like
show. It could be fun.
That was some good work. That was. You can tell that you have media training.
Yeah, I am. I'm very media savvy. Excellent.
That's all I have.
Me too.
Okay.
I think so.
It's nice
Okay,
meeting
actually,
you.
you know what? I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite song on the record?
I've been listening to Hands on Your Body for a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, so that one.
That's-
Hey, everybody. This is a special announcement. I went to Mariya's show on Friday night. One of the best shows I've been to. So good. At this point in the show, I told her my favorite song was Hands on My Body. I actually said Hands on Your Body several times, and she didn't correct me. My bad. After further review, I've had some time with the album, walking the dog, driving to work, the live show. My favorites have changed. And it's called Mood Ring. I think your favorite might change depending on your mood too. But my favorite now, I think, is Money Can't Buy. And I really like I Get It. They're fun. The whole show is so good. Every song is good on this album. You got to check it out. And Hands on My Body, still a banger. So good. Thanks for coming on the show, Mariya. And yeah, stay tuned for more Deets.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
My very first song ever.
It's always stuck in my head. Sometimes I don't know what I'm singing, and then I realize it's that song.
That's, I don't know. That's why we repeated the title like 40 times. So that whether you like it or hate it, hopefully it'll get stuck in your head.
That's your commercial song of the album, hey?
That's one of the commercials. It's not like the most country, I guess, on the record. But yeah, I don't know, it did some cool stuff. It got added to Stingray's adult contemporary station when it came out.
Nice.
Which was pretty cool. And then we made a music video for it. Did you see the music video?
I can't remember. Are you wearing a coat similar to that?
No.
Okay. Are you in a video?
Yes.
But it's more of like a cow print?
I think that's a different video. No, I'm in like all sparkles. It's just like my friends and I set up a bunch of like drop sheeting on the floor and then just rubbed glitter on each other in my house for like 5 hours.
I can't remember, but I'll watch right after this.
Yeah.
You know, in my research, it kept talking about how much you love thrifting. Is that true?
I'm pretty sure everything that I'm wearing, maybe except for even these jeans, maybe was thrifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love thrifting.
The internet knows that about you.
The
It's like the main thing, actually.
She loves to thrift and also does music.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. Let's call it an episode.
Love it. Thank you for your time. Thanks for having me.
I just take these off and it ends. Thanks.